Welcome to the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast with Dat Boy Mo 629. Discussing everything fitness and everything motivation. Here is where you will get your fitness education and motivational fix. Now, here's your host, Dat Boy Mo 629.
What's good, everybody? It's Dat Boy Mo 629 coming to y'all with another edition of the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast. This time we about to talk about why belly fat is harder to lose after 35. I got show notes this time, right? Got show notes. You know what I'm saying? Boom. I want to be on point with y'all, and I don't want this to drag too long. So I'm back with the podcast. I had a lot of stuff to do. I had to get my studio up and going. I had to build some stuff. As you see, if you're on the videos, if you're looking at the videos right now, bam, I got my background, got my backdrop, you know. I got the exercise equipment. I got a punching bag. I got all that stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make this a full-fledged, budget-friendly, because, you know, I'm not rich at all, studio. You know what I'm saying? For y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I'm back with the podcast right here. And I want to start talking to an audience, right? The audience of at least my demographic. You see what I'm saying? So my demographic is people over 30, right? Busy adults over 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You know what I'm saying? And that age range, because life is tough. I'm going to tell you right now, life is tough. And one of the things I realized as a trainer and as a gym goer is that after 30, the game changed, right? For us, the game changed. I work full time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a manager, operations manager in my 9 to 5. And for my 10 to 6, I do this. You see what I'm saying? So trying to balance everything out is tough. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, it doesn't matter what you do. Or a parent, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a parent doing this, oh man, that's trying to stay fit. You're just watching your body go to shit. You're watching your fitness level go to shit, your body go to everything. Just go down the pipeline, go down the drain. So I wanted to recalibrate and aim and be like, okay, who do I want to talk to? You know what I'm saying? Who do I want to talk to 100? You know, like if you're under 30 and you find value in what I say and what I communicate to you guys and the content that I put out, more power to you. Welcome. I welcome everybody, men, women, all ages. But I'm talking to me, those like me. You see what I'm saying? Because it gets tough. Now, I'm in the gym 7 days a week. And I know a lot of people can't get in the gym 7 days a week. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I really wanted to kind of like re-strategize my content toward those over 30, especially over 35. You know what I'm saying? Because the game changes. Cortisol level raises, your stress raises, financial, you know, I got a whole lot more responsibilities. You got children, you got family you got to be there for. You got a job that's stressing you out. You got bills you got to pay. Gas is over $4. So the game changed. 100% changed. So I'm going to show notes. And I want to talk about why belly fat is harder to lose at 35. And I am privy to that, right? I'm privy to that. I'm like, damn, man, this ain't coming off like it used to. What's wrong? I started doing some research. And I just got NASM certified again, recertified for my personal trainer certificate. And I actually, you know what I'm saying, I relearned a lot of things. I'm like, man, you know what? This and that and this or whatever, stabilization, stuff like that. I'm like, damn, a lot of stuff I forgot over the last 2 years. I remember again. So I want to talk to those who are over 35, right? Or over 30, period. So in this episode, we're going to discuss the following, right? Like why your metabolism changes after 35, right? The connection between stress and belly fat, how cortisol impacts your weight gain, right? Why muscle loss affects your fat burning. If you don't know that, the truth about stubborn belly fat. I was just talking about that. How poor sleep destroys fat loss progress. A lot of us don't get a lot of sleep like we're supposed to. We're not sleeping like we're supposed to. We're not resting. We're not recovering like we're supposed to. Why crash diets make things worse. Like you don't know what diet to follow. You got the fruitarian diet here. You got the pescatarian diet here. You got this person saying eat carnivore diet. You got this person saying eat a Mediterranean diet. You got this. You got all these diets out here that are And you got crash dieting too, right? Juice diets. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay. So we want to talk about all that. The role insulin resistance can play after 35. While your old workout routine may no longer work, you may be overstressing your body. Understand that, right? A lot of influencers out here push, oh, there's no such thing as overtraining. But there is. The body is biological. And the body don't give a damn about what you're saying. The body gives a damn about the stress you're putting it through. And it reacts that way. Hormone level. Get your blood work done. You'll understand 100% exactly like what's going on within your body. How consistency beats intensity. You see what I'm saying? And the importance of strength training after 35, after 30, and the simple lifestyle changes that actually works. And also sustainable fat loss strategies for busy adults over 30. So first thing we're actually going to go through is the connection between stress and belly fat, right? Well, before that, we're going to go through. A lot of people think that metabolism suddenly died after 30, right? But the reality is more nuanced. What actually changed is the activity level decreased. You're not walking as much. You're not being as active as much. You're either, unless you got a construction job or a job like a waiter or a waitress or whatever, that you on your feet moving around, boom, 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 boom. You're not as active as much. You're not moving around like you did in your 20s or we did in our teens. Like I used to work at Toys R Us back in the day, and I was in the stock room. So I was boom, 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 moving. I don't do that no more. I sit at a desk. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I pitch in. I drive forklift. I don't move around like I used to. I used to do over 10,000 steps a day. Now I'm lucky to hit 7. Sometimes I hit 8. Now I measure my steps on a day. So same thing could be happening to you. You're not as active, right? And your muscle mass after 30 is slowly declines. So it's not as, you don't have as much muscle mass that's easy to build as it was back in your 20s. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta get the right amount of protein. You gotta strength train. You definitely gotta strength train. And you gotta hypertrophy training, stabilization endurance training, muscle endurance training, all of that stuff. Your stress increases. At the end of the day, whether it's your marriage, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your kids, whether it's your relationship with your family, relationship with your friend, bills piling up, the mortgage, the landlord, it doesn't matter. Hell, your car just broke down. There's a lot of stress people go through, right, that impacts your body. And your sleep quality worsens. Once again, this can be correlated with stress. You can be sleeping, but not in a deep sleep enough to where you recover like you're supposed to. You see what I'm saying? So you don't recover like you're supposed to, meaning your body isn't repairing itself like it's supposed to. It's still stressed out. You're still producing cortisol. Your insulin resistance, you know what I'm saying? Your insulin spiking through the roof because you're stressed out. You see what I'm saying? So stuff like that. And your recovery becomes slower. So whatever you did today in the gym may not reflect in your recovery process for tomorrow. So you got to be strategic with this. So the connection between stress and belly fat, right? Stress affects your body far beyond your emotions. So, and we talk about like the body being in survival mode. You crave comfort food. I ain't gonna lie. When I be at home at night, I'd be like, man, I eat Quest bars. I'm like, man, and that's the comfort food for me. I only want to eat 1 Quest bar, but I end up eating 2, eating 3. So that's an extra 400 calories in my meal plan and my calorie intake that I didn't account for. So add that up. So 200 to 400 calories a day multiplied by 7 days a week. If I did that every day, you got to do it 5. So that's an extra 1,000 calories if I'm doing 2. So if I'm doing 4, that's 2,000 calories that I'm not burning, that I'm eating. So that's being a problem. Your energy drops, right? Your energy, you don't have the energy. You're tired, meaning more stress on your body. That means your recovery suffered and your sleep quality decreases. So many adults over 35 juggle. We all juggle careers, family responsibilities, finances, lack of downtime. A lot of over 30 people. It's like, man, I don't have time to work out. There's a way. There's a way. If you really want it, there's a way. And you know what I'm saying? If you really want to know, I got a fitness guide called, you know what I'm saying, Fit Over 30. All you got to do is comment Fit 30 below. I have the Fit 30 comment in the description. Just comment Fit 30 and I'll send it to you. The way to combat this. Chronic stress can make fat loss significantly harder, especially around the abdominal area. You know what I'm saying? That's the dad bod, the mom bod, all that stuff, fupas and poofas and stuff like that. So the cortisol levels, you know what I'm saying, it is a main component in this, right? So short-term cortisol can be helpful. It helps you wake up, it gives you energy during emergencies, and it helps regulate blood sugar. But if it's chronically elevated, then it can increase appetite, increase craving for sugar and processed food, and encourage fat loss encourage fat storage around the midsection, and it also reduces recovery and muscle growth. Cortisol and the extended amount of release is bad. So you want to manage that cortisol level. So, and your body don't know the difference between a tiger chasing you, once again, a fight or flight, stress, a tiger chasing you, work stress, financial anxiety, or poor sleep. It just responds similarly, physiologically. So you got to be able to control and manage that so your body can work in the way that you need it to work. And so why do muscle affect fat burning, right? So after 30, adults naturally begin losing muscle mass if they don't strength train. So muscle and boost your metabolism, which means you burn more fat. So you build muscle, your metabolism speeds up, and you burn more fat. It's that simple, right? So less muscle can mean, you know what I'm saying, like you burn less calories at rest. Your strength is reduced, slower recovery, worse insulin sensitivity, and reduced physical performance. So you want to gain as much muscle as possible. I'm not saying be a bodybuilder, but you want to have enough lean muscle mass where your body can burn fat just sitting at rest than just having to always do cardio. And doing too much cardio can be too bad as well and can raise your cortisol levels. So muscle can be like your metabolic engine. So the more healthy muscle you maintain, the better your body tends to regulate energy and composition. So stubborn belly fat. Let's talk about that. Belly fat is often the last fat your body wants to let go of. It's the center. It's the nucleus. It's the beacon of energy. You cannot spot reduce fat from one area. Water weight, yes. Fat, no, unless you get surgery. So through ab exercise alone, you cannot spot reduce, right? So genetics, hormones, sleep, stress, nutrition, and age all influence where your body stores the fat. So like if genetics, like in my family, pot bellies are normal in my family. So when I was a kid, I had a pot belly. A kid had a pot belly. Growing up, had a pot belly. Hell, when I wrestled in high school, I had love handles. You see what I'm saying? Love handles run in my family. So I had to combat that by burning more fat and being very, very lean. You see what I'm saying? Very lean in body fat. I'm talking like 10 to 12% body fat. I'm at 17, almost 18% right now. So I got love handles and I got, you know what I'm saying, a little belly. So I'm trying to get that down. So for many of those over 35, belly fat becomes more noticeable because muscle decreases while stress and inactivity increase. Doing 500 crunches won't solve this issue. If your nutrition is poor, your sleep is terrible, your stress is unmanaged, and your muscle mass is low. Talk about that. So we already talked about, you know what I'm saying, as far as like poor sleep. So here are ways that poor sleep can destroy your fat loss progress. Sleep affects nearly every fat loss related hormone in the body. Poor sleep may increase hunger hormones, reduce fullness hormones. So if you're not full, you're hungry. Increase cravings. You crave something, you want to eat. Lower energy. You don't want to work out. You don't want to do anything. And you don't want to do anything, you probably might be depressed. You might be depressed. Guess what that is? Stress. Stress increases what? Cortisol. Reduce workout performance. Your workouts won't be as intense as you want them to be. And increase stress hormones.
Back then I wasn't, but now I'm on. I'm ready, kill it. I'm in my zone. I couldn't done it. But now it's done. I live it, I love it. 'Cause I'm the one, chosen one. I wasn't, but now I'm on. I'm ready, kill it. I'm in my zone. I couldn't done it. But now it's done. I live it, I love it. 'Cause I'm the one, chosen one. Never thought about how good it felt to live, doing things you never did, risking all you had to give. I ain't got no time for no petty bullshit. The feeling that I'm feeling is when they feeling what I could spit. When the track come on, they don't wonder should I push skip. They turn the volume up, light a blunt while they push whips. Gotta love the energy when my niggas feeling me. The shallow rap shit on the radio is killing me.
You see the correlation here? Over 30, stressed out. Stressed out, cortisol. Cortisol, I mean, guess what? Everything else. And even motivated people like myself, I'm motivated 7 days a week in the gym, struggle with fat loss, even when they're constantly exhausted, right? So this is where I'll be transparent. This is where I'm suffering. A tired brain usually wants quick energy, sugar, caffeine, and convenient food. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is recovery. So get your sleep in. 7 hours. I function better on 6. So I make sure to get at least 6 hours of sleep. At least 6. If I get too much sleep, I wake up tired. And a lot of us are like that. You function better on 6 hours. Some people function better on 5 hours. Whatever you function better on, make sure you get that. Everybody's different. So make sure you get enough sleep to where you recover. And also got my watch here too to measure my sleep and my recovery while I'm asleep. So, and I get my sleep scores every day. So if I have a poor sleep score, I try to improve it the next day. And why crash dieting? Crash dieting, this is one of the things that I see a lot on the internet, influencers, is that, crash diets often create fast weight loss initially. But much of that can be water loss, glycogen depletion, and muscle loss. Extreme calorie restriction may slow metabolism adaptation, increase hunger, reduce energy, increase binge eating risk, and make long-term maintenance harder. It's hard. Like if you're on a juice diet, on a fruit juice diet, and I'm not knocking nobody out there. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I'm not sitting here. I'm not, gatekeeping or trying to, crap on anybody else's lifestyle. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. However, to maintain muscle, to build muscle, being on an all juice, watermelon juice diet is not the way to go. I'm telling you right now. You want to get that protein in. You got to get that protein in. You got to build that muscle, and you got to be able to strength train. And you also need strong bones and other nutrients within you. But most people don't fail diets because they lack discipline. They fail because the diet itself is unrealistic. If you can't maintain it for life, it probably won't work long term. That is very, very, very damn true. The role insulin resistance can play after 35. Insulin helps move glucose from the bloodstream into cells for energy. You with me now? For energy. So over time, inactivity, excess body fat, poor nutrition, chronic stress, and a lack of muscle may contribute to insulin resistance. When insulin resistance increases, right, energy regulation worsens, fat storage may increase, hunger and cravings may increase. Another thing with hunger and cravings, and losing weight can become harder. This is one reason strength training, walking, sleep, and nutrition matters so much after 30. Another thing we talked about, why your old workout routine may no longer work. A lot of people say what I did in my 20s don't work no more. These workouts I did in my 20s, the food I ate, it just don't work no more. I'm not seeing the results I saw in my 20s. And I can say that 100% emphatically, for me, that is true. In your 20s, You may have recovered faster from poor sleep, junk food, excessive cardio, and inconsistent habits. Your body recovered faster. But after 35, your body usually responds better to smarter programming, recovery, strength training, mobility work, stress management, and consistency. It's all strategic now. You got to be smarter. Don't work harder. Work smarter. That's a real big thing right now. When you're over 30 and you're trying to work out, you're trying to reach your goals, whatever your goal is, whether you're running a marathon, you want to lose some weight, you want to build some muscle, you're a mom, or you want to look like you did back in the day or whatever, want a better looking body, or you a dad and you want to look like you did when you were younger. You got to be more strategic these days. And a lot of time, what worked in your 20s, after 30, what worked in your 20s to make you look like you did in your 20s ain't gonna work now. You got to be smarter. Got to have a different strategic approach, right? So be better, and better is better. And then another one, right? How consistency beats intensity. Most people overestimate what they can do in 2 weeks and underestimate what they can do in 2 years, right? So extreme motivation comes and goes. If you're motivated, that's fine. But you got to be smart. You got to have smart goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goals. So extreme motivation comes and goes. So the motivation is good, but you got to put in a plan of consistency and discipline to be able to reach your goals. Walking daily, strength training consistently, improving your sleep, eating better 80% of the time usually outperform random intense workout, starvation diet, and unsustainable challenges. Small habits repeated over time can change a life. The importance of strength training after 35. Strength training becomes more important with age, 100%, especially as you get into your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and your 70s. Your bone density, your muscle, the amount of muscle you have, thickness, and strength you have, it plays a critical role in how you move around, whether you're in a wheelchair, whether you need help, whether you're walking with a cane, all of that stuff. So the benefits include maintaining muscle mass, supporting metabolism, improving insulin sensitivity, strengthening bones and joints, just like I just said, improving balance and mobility, and supporting long-term independence. Long-term independence. I just watched an interview last night that my wife showed me of a woman that's 101 years old. And she said exercise, puzzles, and all that stuff. She kept her brain sharp, kept her body strong, and she's still independent. She can walk on her own. She can do whatever. And she's 101 years old, and she's cognizant, aware, sharp as a whip. No signs of dementia, Alzheimer's, and none of that. She's talking to these kids. Well, honey, so you gotta keep your body right. You gotta maintain your body, right? And keep improving your body. You got to feed it right. You got to train it right. You just don't want to keep breaking it down. You don't need bodybuilding workouts. This is not for bodybuilding here. This is not for bodybuilding. This is just sustainability. Completely functional. Be a functional person. You need consistent, resistant training appropriate for your body and lifestyle. Not everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. You want to be a bodybuilder? That's fine. But for this channel and this page, right, it's for sustainability over 30, being the best you that you can be. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. The most sustainable fat loss comes from boring, basic, done consistently. Walking daily, eating more protein, drinking more water, sleeping, strength training regularly, managing your stress, reducing ultra-processed food. I'm not saying don't enjoy your life. You can have a cheat day, have a cheat meal, stuff like that. And staying active outside the gym. Hell, we about to fire up some hot dogs today. You know what I'm saying? So, simple don't mean easy, but simple usually works. So here are some sustainable fat loss strategies for y'all. Right? If you're a busy adult, like I said, if this fits right down your alley. You see what I'm saying? Stressed out adult. A lot going on. So a sustainable approach includes flexible nutrition instead of restriction. Flexible nutrition. If it fits your macros, to me, works the best. Short and effective workouts. right? So you ain't got to live in the gym. You don't have to live in the gym for 2 or 3 hours, right? They have short and effective workouts. If you can work out 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, yeah, right? At minimum, I would suggest 3 days a week, minimum. That way you can get your entire body worked out, every body part worked out, including getting into cardio in that time frame. Meal prep shortcut. Meal prep for the week. That way you're on a strict, disciplined meal plan. You ain't going out to the restaurant or whatever, McDonald's, whatever, getting some food, or to the store, getting some junk food, stuff like that, or to the food truck, none of that stuff. Make sure you meal prep. Walking during breaks. If you can walk more, do it. If you can't make it to the gym and you have a space at home where you can work out, do that as well. You can't make it to the gym today. Oh man, but I'm not gonna be able to make it to the gym, but maybe I can do this, or maybe I can do that, or just make a space to where you can actually work out. And focusing on progress, not perfection. Celebrate your wins. You might not lose the pound that you want this week. You might not lose the 2 pounds that you want in 2 weeks, or the 8 pounds that you want in a month. But what you want to do is celebrate your win. Everything's not going to be perfect. The world isn't perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. So why should you hold yourself to a standard of perfection if nothing in this world is perfect? Just do what you can do. Keep being consistent. Celebrate your wins and go to the next win. May have some losses along the way, but take those L's to the chin. Learn from the lesson and move on. So, key takeaways from this, right? If you made it this far into the podcast, I applaud you. Key takeaways: belly fat after 35 is not just about calories. It's about hormones, stress, sleep, muscle loss, and a lifestyle. All play a major role in how your body stores fat as you age. Muscle is your metabolism insurance. Strength training, body weight training, calisthenics, resistance bands, dumbbells, barbells, whatever you can do to build those muscles and get in your protein too as well. Stress matters more than people think. If you're stressed out, a lot of times you're countering what you're doing, right? So chronic stress can increase cortisol levels, which may contribute to increased belly fat, storage, and cravings for high-calorie comfort foods. So if you're stressed, you want to eat. Stress, you don't want to eat. So guess what? You don't eat, you don't get enough calories, you don't get enough protein in or whatever. So it may boost your cortisol levels or trigger your hormones to reduce your progress or slow down or completely stop your progress. And sleep is also a fat loss weapon. Lack of sleep can negatively impact hunger hormone, right? So recovery, energy, and fat loss progress. Extreme diets usually backfire. Don't do those extreme diets. I understand, this is a new diet plan, it's going to work, whatever. And you got some very convincing influencers out there who have the gift of gab that will tell you this and that and that and this, and they'll sell you on these diets, and they'll take your money on these diets or these juices that they'll sell, and say these juices will make you lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks and stuff like that. Of course, if that's all you're eating, like I said, it's muscle loss, water weight, and glycogen depleting. It's not long term. It's not long term. Hell, you can go in the sauna and lose water, or just sit in the sun and sweat. But extreme diets usually backfire. I already talked about that. So here comes a few tips as I close this out. Practical tips from this episode is prioritize strength training. I say at least 3 to 4 times a week. At least 3 times a week, 3 to 5. Focus on protein intake and whole foods. Stay away from the ultra-processed food, and if you can veer away from processed foods as much as possible. Walk daily and stay active outside of the gym. You always want to stay active. Reduce chronic stress where possible. I know life happens. I know stress will happen. Trust me, I know this. But if you can reduce it any way, shape, or form you can, whether meditating, yoga, Pilates, any way, do it. And improve your sleep quality and your performance and your recovery. And sleep is critical. If you don't sleep well, you're gonna wake up tired and like, groggy and stuff like that. A lot of people get in a car accident and stuff like that. A lot of people make mistakes at work because they ain't getting enough sleep. Make sure you are putting your body in the best position possible to succeed. With that being said, this is my return podcast right here. I know it went long. I know it did, but this is what happens when your boy ain't here, doing a podcast for about 6 months or whatever, right? But you see what I've been working on. If you're watching this video, you see what I'm working on. If you're watching my clips, you see what I've been working on. You know what I'm saying? I got the backdrop. You know what I'm saying? I got everything else. You know what I'm saying? The weights right there. When I start training people in studio as well. So at the end of the day. So if you got any value from this, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the podcast, right? You know what I'm saying? It's on everything. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon Music. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on Castbox. It's on Apple Music. It's on all these platforms. And so yeah. Until next time, you know what it is. Start it, own it, finish it.
You've been listening to the Start It, Own It, Finish It podcast. Be sure to subscribe to receive new episodes. Link up with Dat Boy Mo 629 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, or visit him at AceOneWarrior.com. Until next time, start it, own it, finish it.